growing up, you can definitely tell that you have something different, or you're different than everybody else because of maybe some traits of mental illness, or some kind of label, which is really what it is. It's a label. When I was like 3 years old, I had seen someone, well, my aunt, she threw her son down a flight of stairs and had dislocated his arm and had tied her oldest son to a bed. I went to go call the police, and she hit me with the phone. And I ran down the stairs trying to get around my cousin, and tried to run across the street, and a man had grabbed me and held me close to his body and held a gun up to my head and said, "If you call the cops, I'll kill you." And I ran back to the apartment. The cops were already there. And I ran and flagged the cop down and said, "I need to get your car." That's probably the most terrifying thing that I've had to deal with, but one of the most traumatic parts of my life. Certainly I have people who make it easier for me and challenge me. I mean, every day is a challenge. So every day is something new, and friends and family probably don't know that they're helping me. Things such as hugs drove me crazy, and I don't even think my friends in high school or college or when I was in elementary knew that I was deathly afraid of hugs. And every day I went and I tried to give people hugs, and it would choke me up inside, but you just learn to eventually cope with it. So yeah, I mean, I guess everyone's here to support me. If there are people, you know, who don't like who they are and they're not taking medication, you need to realize that maybe you have a little bit easier.
NAMI is a national organization, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, and there are about 1,100 affiliates across the country. This is one of them, and I'm responsible for implementing all the programs that NAMI offers.
Arizona is not where it should be. It really has to do with the politicians understanding mental health needs, and they're the ones who really dictate what happens in this state as far as mental health services, and usually what is cut is mental health services because there's not a lot of funding for it, and they feel that when mental health services is really a big expense, down the road it's actually going to be a larger expense when we don't deal with it now. So I feel like it's a public health crisis nationally, but we don't deal with it.
People with schizophrenia are not any more or less violent than any other part of the society. I mean, people who do violent things and have mental illnesses get dramatized, but keep in mind, people die violent deaths in this country at the rate of 30,000 people a year. And I don't see the media reporting as dramatically people who just died yesterday in New York, in Chicago, in LA, in Seattle, in Houston from homicides. Those are pretty violent ways to die. They just become kind of second and third page reporting items.
As far as stigma, I really think that the media has a lot to do with it, because we don't really hear the positive stories. We hear the bad and the negative, the ugly parts of mental illness. And yes, it's a reality, but the media will not show a story of someone living well with mental illness or in recovery. We have to focus on the negative. Just like with the Connecticut incident, you know, the media took it and it became, the focus point was guns, when that really wasn't the main issue. It was mental health. If we would have better mental health, regulations and better treatment, this probably wouldn't even happen. Mental illness affected me, and it affected my family, and I didn't realize that until I got here. And it actually explained a lot of the things that I went through while I was in college. Our hope is that we replace stigma with understanding, and when we partner with our sponsors, our businesses, they help also get the word out, and they're showing the community that they support mental illness and mental illness awareness.